All right, so we're ready for the next one. Now we just have one. No, that's good, that's good. So we just have one spectator, okay? Usually this is done with 5 or 4 spectators. So because I don't want to have you thinking and remembering everything, you'll just write it down.
Cool.
And then this will serve as the mind of 4 or 5 people. Okay. And this would be in my phone, in my pocket, but we would take out the stopwatch, and then you can see here, so the camera can also see. If I press here and I stop, we get some random milliseconds. This is impossible to predict. So what I want you to do is you're just going to click start and stop. Whatever milliseconds you get, that's the number you would technically remember. And then when you finish getting that number, you just pass the phone along to another spectator. Again, it's just you. So every single one, you just write it down. Okay? So I will...
In just a millisecond, right?
In just a millisecond, yeah. And then I'm just going to click start. Then go ahead. Whenever you feel like it, whenever you decide fate is right, and there you go. You just write that down. And then we'll do this a couple of times. That way we have a couple of spectators thinking of a random number. Now remember, you wouldn't really be seeing this because it would just be happening inside of their minds. And another thing that you could do is, as the spectators are doing this, you could actually be doing what I'm about to do in a moment. But I'll talk a little bit about this in the explanation. And then I think just one more. I think that's enough. I think we have plenty. I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at this point, everybody has a number in mind. And so we technically need to do one of the fanciest shuffles that I know, which looks a little bit like this. And the idea is that everything is just mixed, okay? So we need some cards. We're going to need a lot of cards.
Okay.
So a bunch of spectators would technically be selecting one or two. This one. And that one, and you can even select more than one.
These 3 there.
Those 3, and then technically we would be having more spectators.
This is the force card. Let's take that one.
That's the force card. Yeah. You got it. Any more? That one, and then maybe like one more.
Can I go? Let me take.
Yeah, wherever you want. Right here. Okay. Okay, perfect. The idea is that we just have some random cards. It doesn't really matter, and I don't even want to touch them. So between everyone, you guys chose those cards.
Yeah.
Now we're going to choose the order in which these cards are going to be used. Okay. So you have a choice. Do you want to deal a card down, or do you want to switch the order? Your choice. You want to deal or switch?
I'm going to deal.
Okay, deal. Do you want to now deal or switch?
Switch.
Switch. So you just take the card and switch it. Leave it kind of sticking out so we can see, and then put it right on top. That way we can follow where the decision has been made. Now here we can give the cards to another spectator, and it's your choice now. Do you want to deal or switch?
Deal.
Deal? Okay. Again, switch, and then we could give the cards to, and then we'll put it like this so we can see. And switch, okay. Deal. No, you can't. Okay, so technically this is the order that between all of you guys you decided. Yeah. What I want you to do is finish off that shuffle by closing the cards. Okay, and then square everything up. Yep. Now again, this wouldn't have been written down, but we would now turn to the first spectator. What was the number you were thinking of?
54.
54. So let's see. 5 and 4. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then the next one?
78.
78. So we have a 7 and the 8. And then we have the 3. Oh, 33. Okay. 33, 3, 3, 9, 5, 86. Every single decision you all made led us to this specific order. You chose the cards, you chose the way the cards were going to be, blah, blah, blah. And you guys, I think, get the point of this routine. It's actually, really good. It is, right? It is really good.
Because it's got like so many different layers and factors on it. It's fantastic. Fantastic trick.
Yeah, maybe if you didn't know what was going to because we kind of, to be honest, we worked on all the little tiny details that we're going to talk about before this.
I am super impressed at all the nuance that sort of has gone into this. And so I'm sort of saying this is sort of out of character now. A lot of nuance is really like went into this. So I think once he starts getting to it, I think you're really going to appreciate all the thoughts and subtleties that go into this. So I guess let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it. Thank you so much for the help. Now we're going to take a look at technically what you just saw. It's somewhat simple, especially if you skip the first part of the switch. So I'm gonna show you that in a second. But first, you just have to set it up on your phone. Usually, I have a preset set up with my phone number, and then my phone number is technically the reveal. That way, very easily, I can go through the cards without having to look at my cheat sheet on my preset that I created in Chronos. I can just very easily get all my cards. I can call my phone number to the bottom, transfer them, to the top, transfer them to the bottom, and now I can do the trick. All I did was I created a preset with this set of numbers. Now, if I go into my preset settings here, we'll see that I have it called Swindled of Sorts, and that's because the move that we're using to switch the cards is by Paul Curry, and I believe it was in his Worlds Beyond book. And I should also mention that this idea comes from Lloyd Barnes, so thank you so much for sharing that with us. Once we go inside of the preset, I'm going to click Edit so you can see, I have it set up for this specific performance here for milliseconds. But if you're doing it with your spectators, where you're handing the phone to the spectators so they can do the stopwatch, you could actually select the total. That way, when they get it, they have to do a little mental math to remember that, that number. We're gonna stick to milliseconds here because that's what we did in the performance. And then just notice that I have 54, 78, 33, 95, and 86. So I have it right here, all those numbers set up. Once we click Save, once this is selected and we exit out, you're now going to be utilizing that preset. So there's one little tiny thing you have to do, and that is reverse the order of your stack. Because when they use the Swindle of Sorts, they're actually going to be reversing the stack. So we just have to reverse everything like this. And now I'm going to turn this face down. You'll notice that on the back of that top card, I actually have a little pencil dot in the corners. I actually have it on the right-hand topmost corner, but that's because I'm left-handed. And the reason for that mark is because when I spread, I know that this is where I need to get my break. So that I don't waste time counting or looking for anything. It's already there. It has the little pencil dot mark. So as they are selecting those cards, I'm just waiting until I see the card with the dot, and that's where I keep my break. So once I have my break, we're ready to do the switch. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So before you do any of this, just leave the cards on the table. We don't need them. You're just going to have your spectators select a random number. And we're going to do that with the stopwatch. So you already know that it's going to start. We're going to leave those 3 seconds because that's the setup that I have. Then once they do it, you'll see that it's going to be 54, 78, 33, 95, and 86. All of your spectators are now going to be thinking of all of those numbers. You can get rid of the phone. From this moment on, if you just consider those moments as randomly selected, they may forget how the numbers were generated, and it'll feel to them more like they were just random. So now that everybody's thinking of a number, you pick up the deck, and all I did is I started shuffling the cards while making sure I didn't shuffle these. So I'm doing this kind of weird, messy looking shuffle. Nothing's really happening from underneath, as you can see. I'm just taking all the cards from the middle and just making it look like it's messy. This pack is staying perfectly as we need it. From here, this is just to show that the order of the cards is not important. So the selection is going to be a little bit more free because they're not thinking like, oh, maybe he wants me to get that card or maybe he wants me to get this one. Because we just did a complete mess, now it doesn't matter. Now this is somewhat not important. So when we have them touch the cards, you want to just leave a few cards from the top so they select from the top. Remember, we don't want them to go here at the bottom. So they'll touch one, when they touch another one, you can even tell them, you can even touch more than one, 2, 3 at a time. Boom, they'll take this, and you're just going, once you see that you're getting closer to that bottom edge or your pencil dot, that's when you stop. You have enough cards. It doesn't matter if it's actually 10, 8, 12, as long as it's just a bunch of cards. We're not really calling attention to the amount of cards because it doesn't help the trick at all. So once we close this up, we're now going to switch the cards utilizing the name. It escapes my mind, but we'll put it on the screen. And all it is remember, I have a pinky break right here, and this is the exposed view. Once you have all the cards upjogged from the deck, you're going to kick those cards off to the side closest to your thumb. You're then going to re-grip the deck from the top with your middle finger and thumb in the back, and all you're going to do is take these cards out. So you're going to take these cards out. That's what we're trying to simulate. What's actually going to happen is these cards are actually going to ride underneath those. So it's going to do this, and then I'm going to strip those cards out like that. What that looks like is this. Here, we strip those cards out, and now I'm going to spread these cards on the table. So this deck needs to go above the cards they actually touched. It is in that motion that I grab those cards as I spread, and then those packets, the ones they selected, will be switched with the ones that you have in your preset. Now, from here, you say, oh, I don't even want to touch these cards. You take them, and between all of you, you guys are going to select the order of those cards. Okay? So, now we tell them, here's what's going to happen. You're either going to deal a card or switch a card. In order for them to really understand this, you can grab some of the discarded cards and show them. So you can either deal a card or you can switch a card, and they'll see you switch that card. Now, once let's say they deal and then they switch, what you want to do is make sure you leave the card outjogged so that when it gets placed down, it's almost like a memory that the card was switched or a decision took place right here. And then that's going to set us up for a shuffle at the end as well. So then you can tell them, okay, do you want to deal or switch? Deal. Do you want to deal or switch? Oh, I'll switch. Okay, so they switch. Once again, we do this. Let's say they switch again. We do that. And then they deal, and then they deal. Now here, it's a very clear picture of what took place. They can see when the decision took place and the order that they selected. Let's go into a little bit more detail into that swindle of swords. As you can see here, I have separated the cards from king to ace so you can very easily follow the order. What is actually happening is the order is just being reversed. Nothing is actually mixing. So you'll see that if I deal, we have 1 or ace down here. Now, if I were to deal the 2 would be on top of the 1. But watch what happens when I switch them. So when I switch them, the 2 is still on top of the ace. What's really happening is the switch is as if you were dealing 2 cards. So if I deal is 1 card, or if I deal 1 is 4, if I deal 2 is 5. If I do the switch, we're switching, but then we're putting both cards at the same time, so the same thing is happening. The 4 comes down, then the 5. And it doesn't matter whether I deal or whether I switch. It's always going to be in the same order. We then are going to use a technique from Juan Tamariz, which is almost, there is no shuffle happening here, right? But by telling them, go ahead and finish off that shuffle, it creates the illusion or the feeling that more mixing and more shuffling took place than it actually did. We just really reversed the order of the cards if you truly think about it. So they're going to push that. We tell them, here, I don't want to move any of the order of those cards, close them up. And what was the number you were thinking of? here, actually, before you get into it, you can recap a little bit so they know random number was generated. They chose everything. They chose the cards, blah, blah, blah. And now all of those cards, 54, 78, 33, 95, and 86 will take place. So this is all of the little tiny details that we have added to this trick to almost enhance every portion of the routine. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If both of you do everything the way it should be, we should have something that is absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to let's just shuffle these real quick, all right? And as I shuffle these, just go ahead and think of any playing card. So you're going to think of any card at all that you want.
Okay, got it.
You got it? What card are you thinking of?
Queen of Hearts.
Do you want this one or you want to change it for another one? Completely up to you.
I want this one.
100%.
100%.
This is very important. Remember this moment. You could have switched to another card.
Okay.
But you're choosing the Queen of Hearts.
Right on.
There's 52 cards in the deck, okay? You're going to randomly choose a number in there.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the timer card.
Okay.
Okay? And you're going to, let me pull it up here. And what we're gonna do is whatever millisecond we get to,
Yeah.
that's the amount of cards we're going to deal down,
Okay.
and the Queen of Hearts will be there.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay?
Alrighty.
Because we can't control what's going to show up. So we're going to start it. Now here's the thing. At any point, you can stop it. Whatever the milliseconds are, we count down to the number, the Queen of Hearts will be there.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, 81. We don't have 81 cards.
Yeah.
Try again. Okay, no. 11. Okay, now, here. Cards were shuffled.
Right?
You stopped at a random number. You named any card at all. I don't want to touch those cards. Deal down to the 11th card.
I do?
Yeah, I don't want to touch.
So do I open it?
However you want. It's your.
So that's
it's up to you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's the 11th card. If that's the Queen of Hearts, put it to the side. Look.
Should I open it?
Wait. Take a look.
Okay.
No!
Arahamora!
That is amazing!
My God.
Oh my god, my mind is blown!
So as you can see, we're actually building upon the routine you've already learned, and we're creating this preset so that it's ready to go for us whenever we want. Instead of using 13, and again, remember, I only did that because I wanted the dealing and the counting and everything to be quickly here for the instructions. For you, 18, I think it's a pretty good number to do. Now, I'm going to show you the way in which I actually performed it in the video. And for that, you either need a crib, which I'm going to tell you one right now that you can do, or you just need to have it memorized. But in order to have the crib, just go on Google, search for whatever stack you have, and take a screenshot of that and set it as your screen saver on your phone, so that whenever on your lock screen, so that whenever you open it up, you can very quickly find the card that they named, and now you know the number. Because what we're actually doing is we're going to input the location of the card from whatever card they named. And we're going to be doing that in the timer by triple clicking it 3 times. We're going to have the spread, okay? And we click on the value. And again, we're going to choose any number at all that you want above 52 because we want to get the spectators to tell us, I can't count 52. That will sell the fact that this is a real stopwatch. So we're going to put anything above that. We'll do 82, enter. We'll then do 61, let's say, enter. And this is how I like to have the phone set up in my pocket. So once I'm ready to perform this trick, this is how I actually have it. That way, when I pull it up, I already know the number, but if you don't know the number from the card that they have named, just look at your phone screen, the screenshot you took. It's going to tell you the location of that card, and then you just input it there. For the sake of the explanation, King of Clubs is 18, so we're going to go 18 if your spectator names the King of Clubs. So once you have that, just remember, click Enter. This is the most important part. Click Enter. That way, Kronos knows that you're using the 18 as well. And then you have the choice of either saving it as a total or the milliseconds. I like using the milliseconds, so I'm going to go with that. Now, because we have the force after 3 seconds, we're going to have this go past the 3 seconds in order for us to get that first number, 82. So what would happen is you have your spectator go ahead, name any card. As they are naming the card, you could be playing with the deck, doing any sort of false shuffle that you want. Just make sure you don't destroy the order of your stack. Then you just leave that there. Your spectator is going to give you that card, King of Clubs. You put it in. We start on this. And what we tell them is whatever number millisecond we get, we're going to count down that many cards, and your card is going to be there. Of course, there's not 82 cards in the deck, so they're going to have to do it one more time. You tell them, okay, well, we don't have 82 cards in the deck. Go ahead, let's try it again, and then they'll stop it there. 61. Okay, a little bit better, but still, I don't have 61 cards in the deck, so let's try it again. They'll go again, and now the 18 will hit. So because this is the first number that we can actually count to, you can now give the cards to a spectator. You don't have to touch them. They will count down to the 18th card, and the card will be there. And I think this is an incredibly to the punch, straightforward, powerful, any card at any number that if you have a stacked deck on you, or even if you want to do it with a shuffle deck, you can do it. You know that we've been doing tricks, right? What if we break it up, we just play a little game?
I like games.
And not only that, it's not just a game, it's a game where you can win money.
Oh, I even like money.
You even like money? Okay, do you want to go for the 1 or the 5?
My choice, 5, of course.
5? Okay,
yeah.
5.
It's like
Now,
from some magic already.
so here's the deal. Frank.
Okay.
He said he was Frank.
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 French.
So you actually have the possibility of winning this Lincoln.
Okay.
It's
What
for
do I
you.
do?
All you need to do, actually, you tell me. Pick a number from 00 to 99. Your choice.
50?
50. All you have to do is pause on 50 milliseconds.
Ooh.
So
gonna be tough.
I'm going to give you 4 chances. 4 chances. If you click lap, we can see all of your choices that you've made because it's going to keep track of it.
So just
Okay?
hit the start and then lap whenever.
Yeah, so look, yeah, I'll put it there. It's already started. Whenever you think those milliseconds are going to be 50, you just hit lap. And then if you get 50, that 5 is yours. Okay, that was 95.
Oh, no.
That was 95. Let's try it again. 47. 47. So that was super close. You were 3 away. You're getting really close. That's 58. And then last chance, you get 50. That 5 is yours. Ha! It's mine. It's mine. But it's okay. Let's stop it. You got 47, 58. If we take the mean, I think if we were to take the mean of all of them, it would actually be pretty close to that 50.
Yeah. That'd be pretty close.
Oh, wow. But you know what's actually really crazy? Like the first time you stopped it was here, lap 1. You see that? What's the millisecond you got there?
9.5.
No, look at the serial number. 9.5 right there.
9.5.
Check out the next one.
4.7.
4.7.
This is like
5.8.
1 and
9.
This is like even more impossible.
You know what? I think you deserve it. I think you deserve it.
Oh yeah, we going.
Now, I said it was going to be a game, right? But it was actually a magic trick. Do you want to tip me?
Dang it.
No, just kidding.
Not
You can
going
have
on the
it.
plane jumpers.
This is an amazing, well, I don't know if I should call it a trick because it's more like a game. You may have noticed that in the performance, I actually gave him the option to choose any number at all that he wanted. And that is because of the way that normal stopwatches tend to work, or at least on the phone, is they don't really stop on the number or the laps. What they're actually giving you is how much time it took from the previous lap. So if the first one stopped at 10 seconds, the second one is not going to say 12 seconds if you took 2 seconds. It's actually just going to say 2 seconds. For those reasons, we wanted to make the number feel a little bit more random, which is why I gave him the option to choose a number. He chose 50. Now, in actuality, what we would like to have is 4 spectators, and each of them will get a chance to win the money. Now, each of them are actually going to remember their milliseconds, and then we're going to call back to it because it matches the serial number on your bill. So very, very simply, you just have to take any bill at all that you want to put up for the game, and you're going to enter into your extra manual input section, which is triple tapping the timer here. Now, we're going to use the spread, and all you have to do is input the numbers. For instance, I see here 95, enter, and then we'll do 47, and then enter, and then the next number is 58. So 58, enter, and then 93. So once you have that added, you can either have it as the millisecond, which I highly recommend for this routine, or as a total. We're going to go with the millisecond. Now, if you want to have a bill, maybe it's a $100 bill or a $50 bill, and you always want to perform this routine, rather than doing it through the manual input, you can just go and create a preset, and you call it your bill routine or bill game, and now every single time that you want to perform this trick is ready to go. So what you're going to do here is go into the world clock, and to perform it in the way in which you just saw, your settings need to be set as for manual input. What you want to have the force on, you want to set it on lap. So once you have that set, it's going to be forcing on the laps. You can go back into your regular stopwatch, or I should say your chrono stopwatch, and now you can start the game. So they'll click start. Again, we have it force after 3 seconds, so we just have to wait for those 3 seconds. Now, when they click lap, you'll see that the first number from that serial number, 95, is on the millisecond. When they click lap again, the same thing will happen. Now it's 47, lap again, 58, lap again, 93. We can stop it, and now we can bring attention to all of those milliseconds. The first one down here is 95. It matches there, 47, 58, and 93 perfectly matches the bill. That is how we perform the routine you just saw in the studio. Now, if you want to perform it with multiple spectators, then what you have to do is go back into your settings, and instead of